Okay, in this video, we're going to hopefully try and finish off all the welding. We've got the sill to do on the other side and a few other little bits. Got to speak loudly because the music's on next door. I've just found out and booked myself in for a dentist appointment Friday. I'm going to have a tooth pulled out. Lovely. Love that. I haven't got many as it is. But anyway, forget about that. No one likes dentists. Yeah, so we've got the sill to do. That's a major bit of welding that we've still got to do, or a major bit of cutting and grinding and stuff we've got to get done. We've got a bit of bonnet repair to do on the front lip. Shouldn't be too much. And some of the bottoms of the doors we need to have a look at. And fingers crossed I can get away with not putting a new skin on it. I don't really want to at the moment. And then, yeah, because we got to get this ready to paint, don't we, Paul? Because you're free and you've got a bit of space. So we need to just crack on and get this welding done. So first things first, we got to basically get dirty. You got to get down the other side. I was going to spin it around. We'll have a bit of a tidy up, and then get down the other side and start cutting the sill off, because that's what we got to do. I think hopefully it was not as bad as the other side. I can't remember now. Oh, we've still got the little bit inside on the seat box section, but if that doesn't get done and painted anyway, so that all gets covered in carpet anyway. So, all right, come on, time lapse. Or sill work. Oh, the next door body shop guy. I've just jacked this up, tidied up, and then I remembered we had all this to deal with. Yep, it's all got to be cut out. Let's get on and cut. Top of that doorstep edge is going as well, but the other side went a little bit. We can repair little bits. Okay, another hour or so of grinding, no welding, just grinding and cutting. So, there you go. Bit of a hole there. You can sort of see the rust line where basically the previous person had put a patch on underneath. So, I'm hoping I don't have to go all the way back there. It's just this main corner section here, and into the sort of side there as well, which we happened last time. I noticed a bit of flakiness around the seatbelt point, so we'll have to whip that off and double check. The other side was okay, I checked that. And so yeah, just been basically grinding the old repair off, grinding the old sill off, still a bit to do around the jacket point and the back end. Looks like we're gonna have to rebuild a little bit this front end as well. Which ideally, should have done that before we'd done all the front panel, but got the door off, obviously. Got to pin the A panel over as well in a minute. So yeah, we'll do that, clamp the panel on and just give it a think for the night. There you go, just a quick shot of it clamped up. As I said, still a bit more grind to do around the jacking point around the rear end. And I said we've got to rebuild this end as well. And should have done this side first, Matthew. Always do the worst side first. Okay, we're back, another day. Funny this enough, I'm actually filming two videos at once, jumping between two things, but we need to get this welding done. We're like 2 weeks away from the end of March, and I promised Paul, hello Paul, paint shop guy, that we're going to get it to him. Had a tooth pulled out yesterday, so that's the link between the two videos. If you can find the other video, that I was filming them at the same time. And yeah, so what we need to do first is start repairing some of the holes before we can then start thinking about putting the sill back on. I've got the correct size ball joints and stuff for the gas struts for the bonnet, which was just me buying stuff off AliExpress without looking at it, and then ended up buying stuff and getting the right thing in the end. That's that. We've got a gasket for the exhaust and some stainless bolts, which and I noticed I cut a little bit of the exhaust when I was trying to get the old bolts off, so we need to weld that up and get all the exhaust properly bolted on. Yeah, we'll do that as well. A little bit cold down here. I've put the tiny little heaters on. Won't take long for this place to warm up. And yeah, let's crack on and have a little bit of lunch. that took a bit longer than it needed to. I've actually used a bit of the roof cut, because it's quite thick, the roof, compared to some of the repair panel stuff I've got. So yeah, just going to try and weld that in. I managed to sort of like join it underneath the seat box, so hopefully it's not too noticeable, but nah, it is what it is. Oh, let's weld it. I didn't bother filming any of that or time-lapsing it. I've just been doing that for the last 2-3 hours. I've been repairing that section. There's a little bit down near the seat belt, not the actual seat belt, but near it. Another couple of patches on the inside. I put a bit of epoxy primer, ground them down, bit of hammerite, because I love doing that just over the insides. I don't expect we're going to do a full respray inside, because most of it's going to be carpeted anyway. We just do the door pillars, because I might want to put some fabric over those at some point, but we'll just try and do the door pillars. So we've still got that hole in the floor to do over that side in the seat tunnel thingy. We're nearly there with fitting the sill on. I've peeled back the rear heel board where the sub-frame goes, because these sills go inside those, but you can peel them back, cut them and peel them and then weld them. So I just need to grind out now a little bit more of the old sill that's still left on the doorstep. I've started doing a little repair on the doorstep, but I think most of it can be done now once the sill's on. Gives you something to weld to, and we've then got to do a little repair in the inner wing once we've got the sill on. But we're getting there, but oh, that's a lot of work. Okay, another evening. It is a bit cold down here. It's after work on a Monday night. I did a little bit of sanding, which I shouldn't do. I should stop that. Anyway, got myself a reduced chicken and bacon sandwich, 70p at Morrison's. Everything else is very expensive in there, but in the reduced section, they properly reduce stuff. They don't do this like 30%, 20% off. It's like £3.50 down to 70p. Have you some of that? So that's my dinner in a minute. So we need to crack on and get that sill welded on. Let's see if we can get that done tonight. So let's get around there and try and remember where we were. Okay, I remember now what we've got to do. So the first job we've got to finish off is cleaning this double lip off, clean the old sill off. So I've done about half of it. This is not brilliant. It could be replaced that, or this edge, but I'll just rebuild the edge once I get the other sill on. And then once that's done, we mark it, drill holes through the car, and then we're going to plug weld from the inside downwards into the sills, so they look like spot welds. And yeah, prep the holes and yeah, clean stuff up. So let's get on with that. Okay, we're there, I think. I've got a repair piece I put in here at the end. That's all ready to be cut. I've greased up the rear subframe points while you've got the sill off. I've drilled holes. What I did was I basically clamped the sill up like this, then put a bit of masking tape along the edge of the sill to then mark where the holes are, because obviously what you don't want to do is put holes through the floor where the flutes are, because then you can't weld. So you've got to make sure you've got them on the flat bits. Take the sill off, and then there's obviously about an inch gap where basically an inch piece of metal all the way along on the edge of the floor, and then you just drill through. And I sort of put an 8mm drill through, maybe a little bit big, but and so yeah, the trickiest ones are just getting in the rear pocket. But you can do it with a light and just be careful. Obviously, you can't really grind them down too much or whatever you can do, but not seen anyway. And again, this is all under the carpet and everything like that. So I'd rather the outside of the car looks nicer than the floors and stuff like that. So I don't know how well this will spot weld. I definitely think we're going to have to put a bit of MIG welding in later just to give it some strength back and some thickness to the lips, but we can do that as well. So I may get the spot weld around here, get a few spots along the edge here, just sort of 4 or 5 to hold it in place. Then we can do the underside, or we can just do the underside anyway and then do the spot welding afterwards. We've got the G clamps, we've got the mole grips on it. Anyway, come on, it's getting cold. Let's move on. All right, we had a slight issue with the spot welder tripping the plugs, but we'll worry about that later. I've got it all plug welded underneath now from inside. Done the end cap. I've tacked most of most of the front repair section in. I've just got to do a few little welds more on the doorstep here, and then spot weld that along there. But I've just literally run out of time. I've got to head home now, but that's on now. So that's, you know, it's 95% done. So we get back, smash that a little bit on, put some prime on it, ready for the body shop. Finish that bit off, done that, and then we'll move on to the last bits of rust, which maybe the bottoms of the doors we just need to double check. This side wasn't too bad. We've got a hole still to fill in the box section there that somebody had made beforehand, and then we just got the bonnet to repair because the edge, I think, has gone somewhere. But yeah, it's just going there and stuff, and a few bits, but underneath. But anyway, nearly there. Okay, welcome back. I'm hoping this is going to be the last bit of this video. So I've got a day down here. We've got a list of things that we need to get finished. We've got a week till it goes to paint. So I've got a little bit of extra time next week if I need to, but I'm trying to pretend in my head today, at the end of today, it's got to be dragged off and go, even though it's not, but let's try and say that. So I've made a list. I've got some welding. We've got to finish off that Sill there, side there. We're 95% done on that. I've got to finish the spot welds and do a bit at the front. We've got to double check the doors because I think there's a bit of rust on the passenger one, but I think hopefully I can just grind it out and put a bit of rust remover on it. At the moment, it hasn't gone all the way through. It's more surface, and it will do for now. And we can stop that rust. We've got the seat box section to repair and a couple of bits of paint inside the boot. We've got the bonnet just to finish off as well, or we'll even look at it. I haven't properly looked at it. I know it's got some rust on it. And then take out anything else we need, which we should have taken out the seat belt ages ago, but anyway. Seat belt, parcel shelf, things like that. So let's try and get it just ready for paint. So doors back on later, bolted on with a couple of nuts, bonnet bolted down, things like that, just so it's ready to be shipped off. And then maybe during next week we'll do another video. Maybe I might do some raptoring on the sills and stuff while it's still here before it then goes, because that's quite a quick thing to do, and it'd be nice to get that done before paint. But Paul can obviously do it at paint as well, but it's just more time for him and more costs and things like that. So anyway, I'd rather him concentrate on the top bit that everyone sees, not the bottom bit that nobody sees, which I can do because I'm good at that, and if it falls off no one sees. Anyway, let's stop waffling, get some dirty clothes on and crack on. Okay, spot welded on, epoxy primed for the moment to get it to the body shop. Let Paul do anything more he wants to do with that and rub it down, whatever. So yeah, both ends repaired. I think that's it. So we just need to put a bit of, I'll put some paint already on inside the door pockets, but I'm going to go around later with a little bit of hammer on the bits of which we're never going to get painted, like inside the rear door pockets, things like that. Rear door pocket, it's not got a door, but rear pockets where the welds were. And yeah, as I said, maybe later on before it goes to paint shop next week, we will get a chance to do a bit of raptoring along the sills and stuff, which I think I might do. Anyway, we need to look at the bonnet and doors now, and then we're the box section for the seat after that. Okay, that's both the doors sorted till ready for paint. One was on the verge of, it was close, and I'll see what Paul thinks when he gets it. Anyway, they're there, out of the way. Bonnet needs a bit of welding. I think again we're going to have to do the best we can. Yeah, we'll just grind all the surface off, see what it really looks like. Fix any holes that we've got. There's some sort of bracket on here, I don't know what that was. Don't know about that. What about that another day? Try and get this catch off as well, so it's all ready just to be painted. I don't know. We mostly won't need to paint underneath, we'll just paint the top and then we'll do something. Sound deadening, insulation, something. Straw everywhere. I guess that's because we've been on a farm for so long. But anyway, let's crack on. I'm not sure, but that little bracket on there might have been for maybe there's a light, an alarm, you know, to let the bonnet go, because I know there's one on the boot, so there might be something around here. Anyway, we can figure that out later. I don't need to make one or weld anything on at the moment. We can bolt through there, make something. Anyway, run it off somewhere else. Anyway, worry about that later. Clean this up, try and patch up the best we can. Hit the bonnet. What I'm going to do is run some strengtheners down the side here, some 2mm, 3mm thick metal, and then just plug weld through there to take the stress of the bonnet, because we want to try and use gas struts essentially, and I've already found them. This side's already kinked as well, so they tend to do that, and so yeah, we might have to slice that a little bit to try and, it's very hard to get the bonnet flat again once it's kinked, but yeah. Anyway, okay, I cut a bit of 3mm, and joggled it a little bit just to miss, because it's a double thickness here where you got the triangle for the bonnet hinges, and so basically, yeah, I've drilled 5 holes here. I'm going to plug weld through. I'm not going to try and distort it too much. Don't think I'm going to try and weld along the top seam unless I have to. I will do up here, I think, but just along here we'll leave that. And yeah, so the first thing before we completely weld it in, we just need to make sure that we've got the right curvature before we go too berserk. Not the end of the world, could be cut and welded again, but hopefully that'll add a bit more strength now for when the gas struts are on and you're forcing the bonnet down, because these bonnets aren't designed for strength, for sort of forcing it down over gas struts. So may work, may not work. And then we've got to finish up welding up the holding up holes. Okay, that bonnet took way longer than it should have done. Lots of noise going on down the farm today. Time for lunch. Bit of egg fried rice, chicken egg fried rice that the wife made for dinner the other night, so thank you for that, Mrs. Green. I'm trying to get the gas struts to work. I'm having a bit of fun. If you buy a kit, just buy a kit, or you see one, because it's already done for you. There's a lot of guesstimation, I suppose, but then trial and error, and then yeah, drilling holes, drill another hole, drill another hole. Maybe I should plan a bit better. But anyway, no comment there, Madison. I think we're left with one bit of welding left on the box section inside, but it is lunchtime, so let's eat that and try and fit the other gas strut while we're doing that. I'll just put you on the tilt for a second because the car's on a tilt and it looks a bit silly. Gas struts in. My advice, buy a kit. Second advice, if you're going to try and do it yourself, I got some struts. I bought 200mm length struts. I think they've got 60mm of travel. If you can get M6 ones, I think there'd be a smaller diameter and you can fit them in better. I ended up buying M8 ones and I had a load of my own fault. I should have bought the struts with the correct ends and I didn't. I bought ball joints in. Anyway, forget that. So if you can get M6 ones, it'd be better. These are 100 Newton meters, supposedly. So they're just keeping the bonnet up, but only just. And I've also got another set of 200s, 300s. I think I bought 3 or 4 just to experiment with, because I thought I could use them on other cars and things. But yeah, I haven't adjusted the bonnet so it fits nice or anything like that. I'm just, yeah, not bad. I live with that. Needs a bit of tweaking this side up, just catching the lip. I think I could fettle it a little bit, but again, smaller ball joints would help you in that instance as well. And again, try and bring the hole as close as you can to the front. If not, maybe even make, I think I can get away with having a tab on the front here to bring it out like I did before, but actually in the right place. Close-up shot if anybody wants to try and copy me. As I said, this is ball joint's very close to the gutter, so if I was going to do it again, maybe add a little bit more in there and just bring that ball joint forward a little bit. But as I said, using the M6 ones, I reckon you'd get away with it. And yeah, I've got a charcoal canister valve thing I've got to sort of sort out, but over there, but I can sort that out. All right, the 200-pound ones are in there, 200 Newton meters. That's better. I think that'll be all right. We'll see, won't we? Just have to, time will tell. Time will tell. All right, last bit of welding. Come on, Matthew. That's it. I think we're done. I panicked for a second because I thought there was a bit of rust by the seatbelt point, but it's surfaced and I've cleaned it up and it's still got good thickness there, so it doesn't need cutting out. What am I going to weld next? Nothing. Bonnet's still up. I think it's a case of tidying up now and putting a bit of paint on some bits that we need to, that Paul's not going to need to do, and have a sort around, because this now needs to get into the front. We need to put the doors back on, maybe take a few more trim bits off like the boot, but you know, you still need to make the boot lock. And then off to Paul's. See you soon, Paul. Just trying to sweep up a bit. This isn't even half of it, because don't forget we took all the front end off and stuff like that. So this is just basically doing some of the sills and the rear valance. Whoa. All right, yeah, I'm going to end it now. I've done a bit of hoovering, I've done a bit of tidying. We're not quite got the 100% list done of me getting it to the front of the unit and all getting ready to be on a trailer. But I've still got a week to do it. I've got some evenings and I've got next weekend, and I'll just have to load it up then. But 99.999% of the welding I think is done. I'm sure Paul might find something else, but we'll just have to cross that bridge when we come to it. I was trying to get the clutch to work. It seems like the clutch and brake pedal pin is seized to the clutch. That's moving and you can see the pin moving, which isn't ideal. But yeah, also the slave cylinder just won't move. So got to figure out how to take the pedal box out when it gets back, which I think means taking the inlet manifold off to try and get to that one nut. Maybe there's a magic way of doing it, but anyway, long video this, but we've got all the welding done. This is off to paint. I'm not too sure how much I film of it going to paint and getting it ready to go paint, because it's just gonna be mad hectic stuff. I'll get some pictures and photos and as much video as I can of it getting painted and work done, and then we'll add to that. But yeah, let's get that out of the way, and then we're gonna get back onto Frank, because we've got to be at the NEC when you're watching this. And if you're not, I've already been there, so yeah. All right, like, subscribe. I need to go have a bath.